Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mutants and Masterminds, our Tuesday night live action role playing game. I am your giant floating head here in the bottom center of the screen, Mark, and our DM, Daniel, is up there. Welcome, everyone.
Howdy, how you guys doing? Welcome to Tuesday Night MCU, a game that is taking place 5 years after the infamous snap in Infinity War, with our own little spin on what has happened since. We have two new players joining us tonight, Rob and Jen. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys to describe your characters really quick. Just kind of a sentence or two about who your character is and what they do.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
All right. My character is a very technologically oriented bioengineer, multimillionaire. I don't like to worry about money. He likes to fly around. He's pretty lucky, and he's an inventor. What else we got?
What's his name?
He's just Jax Dawson. So he owns a biotech company. We make cosmetic changes through gene splicing. Maybe some other changes besides just cosmetic, but that's just a rumor at this point. So that's me.
Okay, I play Sonia. Her code name is Shriek. She is able to turn into sound. That's her big thing. She can teleport, and that's about all I've got right now. We're still building it, so.
Yeah, she has some sonic attacks and sonic powers and stuff. Jen is pretty new to the role playing as a whole, so I'm actually really looking forward to seeing where she takes this character. This was a fun one to build because I have not built anything even close to this idea before. So it's going to be a learning experience for Jen and myself as we kind of adjust it and work with it moving forward.
I really wanted to do something no one had ever done before.
Yep, you definitely did that. We've seen characters that have sonic attacks, but none that could turn into sound. So we will see how that plays out.
What?
Okay, Justin.
I am playing Surge, a somewhat famous in my circle speedster. I've recently had some experience and now have the ability to go through walls in a sense with a super vibration speed. Other than that, we're back in the academy now.
Yeah,
recovering.
so I'm going to get right back to that, Justin, because we're going to have to do a catch up because it's been a couple weeks, and also because we have some new players. We have a couple players that are not here tonight, but as far as we know are still playing. Hopefully they will join in at some point. But that includes Ray, who is playing Cadis, our Gambit type character, who should be on later tonight, but we'll see. And Aeon, who we're still waiting to hear back from. So those round out our characters for this game. And what we'll do right now is go into a what last time on MC Tuesdays.
Should I say who I am?
Oh my goodness. I keep forgetting. In my window, Mark's just a tiny little head. Mark, who are you playing?
I'm playing Silver Surfer. Thanks for asking, Daniel.
Yay!
I am Silver Surfer.
What's that?
He's an alien who used to work
What?
for Galactus. And Galactus is one of the big bads who consumes planets. And he's headed towards Earth. And I came to warn them. And also almost inadvertently started a galactic war. But now that's been cleared up. So everything's great again. At least until the World Devourer shows up and destroys everyone.
Why do I feel like there's we almost started galactic war. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So, for those of you that are confused as to what happened, we actually have all of our videos posted on
YouTube and Twitch.
YouTube and Twitch. You can go back and watch those and get caught up. But Justin, do you remember enough of what happened last time on?
No, I know that we were recovering the rest of the team that was hurt. We did find your sister
You're
or
on
mother.
mute, Daniel, for some reason.
Now he's on mute. I think he was thinking about
Test
it.
1 2.
There you go.
Now he's back.
Okay. Sometimes it doesn't change over. It's a very expensive headset, and of course it has gremlins. Okay.
I remember.
Do you?
Yes, I think so.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know,
Actually, go ahead.
I know, right? So, if I recall right, we
Yeah.
had
So
been-
rewind back to you guys going to Utopia and why, please, or Genosha.
So we had been sent to find Magneto, and to see if Magneto knew where Professor X was, because Professor X was abducted from the school, and we also were going there to deliver some students who were a threat to themselves and the other X-Men at the Academy. So we were flying them there and escorting them as well. And there was a little hint of maybe something sinister had happened to all the other mutants that had been delivered to this island. Turned out they were fine. Everything was fine. Everything was okay. This was like actually kind of a utopia. But then something happened, and one of the viewers decided to throw a monkey wrench into everything, which you too can do. But there was a mutant that exploded, and Aeon tried to revive him, and instead of reviving him, he brought him back as a zombie, which fed on cosmic power, and it started siphoning off another Herald of Galactus that happened to be in the mutant area anyways. She tried to kill me, and it happened to be my ex-girlfriend, hooray. And then she left because she thought I was depowered. But then the undead mutant is drawing power in a graveyard, and and we were just about to approach him, and he had like 40 different undead with him, and he was absorbing power in this mausoleum underneath the ground. How's that?
Perfect. So, the island of Genosha has a graveyard for the people both that were there on the island before, but also for
That's right.
the mutants that have died since. There was a mausoleum, and the mutant that had absorbed some of the cosmic radiation was now a cosmic radiation zombie, had went into the mausoleum, down several floors and then down into catacombs below the island, and has kind of the movie Avatar, when they're all like trying to bring people back and they're all sitting and there's glowing energy moving towards the center. There's a whole bunch of corpses that are moving and throbbing with this cosmic white and black poppling energy towards the center, which is I don't remember his name. I'm gonna say his.
I have it somewhere, but I don't know where.
It was Brett, wasn't it?
No.
Brett?
Or Aaron.
Aaron. It was Aaron. It was Aaron. Yep, Aaron. Aaron the baker. Yes. Standing in the center, and I didn't hear you say it, but what they heard getting closer was the group as a whole saying, "We are Legion.
Yes.
We are Legion."
Not
And
ominous at all.
that's where we paused. So we'll be coming back into that. Rob and Jen, you'll be sitting out for just a little bit while we finish this section up, and then I'll come back to where you guys currently are. And we'll jump back and forth. Sounds good. Got it. Surge and Silver Surfer, that's what you hear looking around the corner.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
I bet you could be in and out in a flash. Just grab him and get him right out of there.
That's the name of my tape.
No. He does
Well,
currently look like he's the source.
I'm that close, right? Or is that just
I mean, we were right around the corner.
So there is a cavern with a tunnel. The tunnel goes down about 20 feet and then curves slightly to the left, sharply to the left, and then goes down. You guys had peeked around the corner and then moved back so that you could talk without them hearing it. You could still hear the echoing down the hallway.
I meant mainly because on the map, my character was right next to whatever that was.
Whatever that was.
The Medusa-looking thing.
Oh, no. That's just a Medusa-looking thing. I was using that as an example for Rob when I was explaining how it works.
Can I do a perception to see if they noticed me?
You sure can. Are you listening to hear if anything changed?
I am phasing through the wall, so only my face is facing towards them, just barely seeing through.
Okay. First activation of your new power. So you vibrate your molecules so that you can pass through the building. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
He's all like, please don't notice me, senpai. Don't notice me, senpai.
And give me a powers check, which is a d20 plus your power level. Or plus your rank in that power. We're going to call that power your super speed. Okay. You vibrate, your face coming just enough out where you can see out into
Well,
the
I don't
group.
think that was my roll. I think that was what I can get as a roll.
Oh. What is your super speed rank?
21.
You have 21 ranks, or you have 21 power points in that?
It says
Power.
ranks.
PowerPoints?
I see power points.
True, but advantages improved initiative 7. I have 1 points per rank, and then it says 21 for... Okay, so I guess it says 21 power points, and the other ones have 7.
Where's your
Some have
character
10.
sheet? Where's your character sheet, man?
It was imported from here, man.
Imported from where?
From the character sheet.
From the character sheet on there, but where's your actual PDF character sheet?
Right. Because the PDF will say
Somewhere.
how many ranks it has, and then it'll have the PowerPoints in parentheses.
Here, hold on. Oh, it's not there. That got cleaned up.
You have... Well, screw you too, thing.
See, like Justin, I'm making mine bigger. So
You have 7. You have 7 ranks.
Okay. So,
Because of the way he built it, you have 7 ranks. So it's going to be a d20 plus 7.
alright, come on, command line. Okay, roll.
Come on, command.
Roll. Home/end. Roll 1d20 plus 7.
Okay, so not 20 on both. Nice. You vibrate your body, moving through the wall, and peek your face out just enough that you can see into the room. Are you going further so that you can also hear? Or are you good with just seeing?
I'm just seeing. I was just trying to see if they noticed me leaving when they were doing their chant.
It doesn't seem like anything has changed at all.
Okay.
There's a loud rushing sound as the vibrations of the stone around you move in and out of the vibrations of your eardrums.
I relay that to Silver Surfer and ask what he would suggest we do. Do you have...
So you're using your comms? The
Yeah, I mean,
kicker
I pull
is,
back.
yeah, I was
pull
gonna
back.
say while you're vibrating through things, your comms won't work. Your internal comms. So you pull back and tell them what?
I tell them basically what you said, that there's that they're there, they haven't noticed us, and I ask, would you like, or do you think we can get behind them? Is there anything you can do to disrupt them, or do we want to disrupt them, or wait for backup?
I think we're probably it. And the worst part is that this guy is cosmically powered. So if we don't shut him down now, he's going to cause a lot more damage. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, that's the story of my life.
I can try to obviously attack him, but I think it would be a good idea if you also attack him at the same time from, obviously behind him, because you can do
Yeah,
that.
really far away. Really far away. I got you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
There is a crackling sound that sounds like stone. That last second before a piece of granite cracks, that crumbling, heavy, deep, earthy sound, and a amazingly bright, flickering light coming from down the tunnel. White and black flickering light.
And it's not, I mean, you said just it's showing up there and it's not coming fast.
Well, no, it's like as if somebody turned on a very bright light in that room, or lit a very bright white torch because it's flickering with white and black energy. But it's just you're just seeing the reflection of the light down the tunnel.
Do we have anybody close to us that can help support us, or it just seems rather high risk for us to tackle an unknown cosmic energy on our own?
Off I go. I'm gonna
Okay.
move full speed and get as close as I can and blast him with everything I have.
All right. As you
Do a barrel roll.
are you both three, or is it just Silver Surfer?
Well, Silver Surfer just took off. I mean, granted, I could beat him, but
Well, Silver
I am a
Surfer
little
did just
shocked.
leave. I am faster than him, but I don't want to take away his hero moment.
I mean, he did just try to pull a Leroy Jenkins, and I kind of want to see. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out.
All right. He disappears around the corner. I'm assuming you're flying on your board.
Yes.
You disappear around the corner and are immediately met with a wall of cosmic energy. It seems that something Aaron was doing in that room, the thing that used to be Aaron was doing in that room, is causing a feedback loop that is blasting a column of energy through the ceiling of the cave. It actually forces you back, and that's not something that really should be able to happen. And you hear a loud crack as the top of the cavern explodes. Cosmic white energy shooting up into the sky. And you feel yourself kind of
Keep
being
it PC. Keep it PC. Keep it PC.
waved with it. Sound is rushing by, bright lights. You actually feel your stomach kind of turning, which you haven't felt for years.
Can I attempt to transform this energy into something harmless? Like,
Why not absorb it?
Because I don't have that power.
Okay,
Not
what are you going
bad.
to turn it into?
Just
Cotton
pure,
candy.
pure oxygen.
Yes,
Hungry.
you can turn all of this energy into pure oxygen.
That doesn't sound like a combustion waiting to happen. How about cotton candy?
Why not turn it into pure hydrogen?
Arsenic sounds good.
Only if I can split every other atom. No, let's yeah, sure. Cotton candy. I hear through the comm cotton candy, and so that's what I'll do.
Yes.
1 second.
Unacceptable. I'm making.
He's accepting the rule. He's checking the rule book to verify cotton candy is an authorized form of transfusion.
I'm making my cotton candy roll.
It is half an hour after brush teeth time, so I didn't catch it until right now. No, you're gonna turn your cotton candy.
Yeah, I heard cotton candy through my headset. So
Subliminal messaging.
This is going to be an amount of cotton candy that is ecologically destroying.
we
Well,
can always
We're
Better start
talking.
eating.
We're talking Valdez of
the Falcon
of
cotton
effects.
candy. That's
Yeah.
all right.
It's fine. Just put it in the ocean afterwards, and it'll be good. It'll dissolve.
I'm talking about it falling into the ocean. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know your history and smart words.
So much cotton candy is going to fall into the ocean. It's going to make saltwater taffy, Mark.
Delicious.
Yeah, I mean, just
All right. You turn. Or give me a roll.
I am around the edge. I have a big finger.
plus. And you want the number of ranks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Does the cosmic energy get a saving throw or something?
I mean, no, but I mean, in fact,
Then yeah, it would be a power. It would be a powers check.
yeah.
Yeah. Sure enough, the giant column of cosmic energy blasting into the sky, hundreds of feet above you, you hear a crack as it begins to open up a rift to some other location. Purple and pink energy starts breaking up into an aura of like a nimbus over the island of Genosha, and then all of the energy very quickly from your fingertips starts becoming cotton candy, which
I
then
should have asked for sprinkles.
explodes into the air because it's cotton candy and starts to fall upon the island of Genosha and the surrounding ocean in
Like a
small
delicious snow.
wisps of delicious snow. Also collecting on the beach, also collecting in the ocean. You're now realizing probably disastrous for all life in the area. But at least it's not cosmic energy.
But I think of the children.
Give me a perception check.
Perception is +9.
Those poor diabetic children.
They're not now, but they will be once they're done. Cleanup's gonna be fun.
Well, I guess the only advantage is after this cotton candy, they won't be there.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, I know that's what the roll is, Mark.
Yeah,
I asked for it.
22.
You note that as the rift begins to close, there is a spark, brilliant magenta spark that lights for a split second as the sun hits it, and then disappears like it's falling, but it's so small that the sky around it kind of makes it disappear as it falls to what you assume to be the ocean.
Or a giant fluffy pile of cotton candy underneath it.
Until it hits the water,
Well, yeah, but
and it dissipates and kills all the wildlife.
off like that direction as quick as I can to try and intercept it.
Okay. Give me another perception check. That's what you see, Justin.
I run out that direction and see if I can create a tornado to cyclone all of the cotton candy, bring it to a bunch of trees, so it's like a giant cotton candy on top.
Spun trees.
So that way, it's easier to not ruin the environment.
I'm sorry. We're very un-PC. We now need munchkins to live in the cotton candy forest, and this will be done. I'm sorry, the Howard the Duck writers have taken over this chapter of the MCU book.
Apparently. You easily collect the area that's on land of a large portion of the cotton candy and wrap it around trees.
Sweet.
Sure. You lose the small item as it falls past you, past the drifting wisps of cotton candy into the ocean.
and then I use my cosmic tracking senses to locate it and go after it in the ocean.
If you knew what it was, I absolutely think you could. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Do you think we can get sprinkles to go with this?
I can make sprinkles if you want sprinkles.
Well, heck yeah.
I should have turned all of the cosmic energy into deep fried Twinkies.
No, to be the best.
Cotton candy's too light.
Funnel cake.
Install the bottom line.
Yes.
You could have turned it into funnel cake.
Aw.
But it would have had to have been raw funnel cake batter.
Eh. The sacrifices we put up with and deal with. It makes it worth it.
You should come to subtitles.
Good night, John Boy.
Cotton candy is in the scene because your Uncle Mark is a weirdo. That's why cotton candy is in the scene.
It's Justin's idea.
And you
You're
went
the
with
one that
it.
went along with it.
I mean,
It's not my fault.
That's the type of idea I expect from people that, pay for weird ideas.
Oh, well, I'll make you understand a weird idea.
Please don't. Please don't. Okay. As the gem slips.
oh, it's a gem.
past you-
See, so now I know what it is, so then I can track it.
How family is this show?
It's very family.
I also forgot to mention to you guys, we try to lay off curse words and adult content because this is supposed to be like a family level show. That's for Rob and Jen. Okay.
I thought that Jim was doing music videos still.
Nice.
I
It
thought-
is truly outrageous.
I looked at the hologram.
Scene cut. I'm gonna have to write this stuff down because I don't have your new names. What's your code name, Rob? Because that's easier for me to remember. Jax? Is Jax your code name? Jax is your code name for now. And for what? Does that work?
For now, yeah.
Okay, until we come up with something better. So Jax, due to the nature of your business, you have actually been to the Xavier estate several times. It's considered a sanctuary for mutants, and they actually have a group that goes out and finds young people who are in dangerous situations or who are being what is that word, Mark, for bullied but by an entire town?
Targeted?
Targeted, exiled,
Mob.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Vilified, ostracized.
Yep. All of those words are exactly what I was talking about.
All of the eyes.
And you have found kind of a acceptance and you find this stuff fascinating. So they have asked, because of your level of knowledge, they've asked for you to sit in sometimes with the scientists there. Because, of course, Xavier's Institute and Estate is going to be dealing a lot with genetic, understanding the genetic code. Why some people have certain powers, some people have other powers, and the like. Why you have certain powers. But I'm sure you keep that kind of under wraps for the most part. Do you keep the fact that you have powers under wraps?
I just keep it low key.
Okay. Does the media, who would follow a multi-million-dollar person like that, know that you have powers?
No, but there are rumors in the tabloids.
Okay. Right.
Only the most
Rumors.
secure and authorized of sources.
Okay. So you are currently at Xavier's estate. And Shriek, you are also there, currently in for testing, because while they have some children, because most of the people that are there are children, they're under the age of 20, there, and some of them have less humanoid features, none can shift into an alternate form. All of them are exactly what it says on the tin. If a little boy has blue fur and sharp teeth and a tail, that is him. He doesn't have a choice in the matter. He can't shift back and forth. So they're trying to figure out how your body not only turns into sound, but is able to form from sound back into your body. Because it seems like something too fantastic to believe. There is no real way of science for them explaining that. And so you are also in a testing facility. It is a large bunker-style building that was recently created within the last 6 months. It is about 2 stories above ground and 4 stories below ground, and most of the rooms are pretty large, but built to protect. So it's not a prison. Yep, I'm waiting.
Hang on, Dan. Something went
I
wrong
am.
on our side here.
I'm going to give him about 15 seconds.
I'm gonna play the Super Friends Friday intro, just because I like the song, and then I'll give him about 15 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
Super friends, we need your
The
help.
storm's getting worse. Our exploratory diving fellas.
The Escape the Mummy is here in Paris.
Wong and his assistant Mary Nelson have managed to
Our computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, there you are.
That area immediately.
Can you hear me now?
I can't.
Okay. Don't know what happened.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Okay, so where did I lose you?
We were in a testing facility.
Okay, so your testing facility, it's like a bunker building, concrete reinforced, and reinforced with some other super metals, because essentially what it is it's an area that mutants who are part of the sanctuary can test their powers in a safe area. 2 floors above ground, 4 floors below ground, and most of the rooms are large and have a lot of really expensive testing equipment. A lot of the scientists and IT and stuff are actually either from Wakanda or are funded through Wakanda, because Wakanda they also want a lot of the research is being done here to figure out how best they can support the situation. Wakanda also the UNWO, which I mentioned to you guys earlier. All of the results are kept classified. Obviously, this isn't government classified; it's civilian classified, but it's the same difference in a lot of ways.
It's mutant classified.
It's mutant classified, right? So most people that come there are requested to kind of give it their all, and so that they can really be tested for what they can do and what they can't do, and that kind of stuff. Shriek on Sonia, you have been kind of doing your sonic thing for about 45 minutes. It's up to you on how far you're going with that, like how much that you're being tested on. But in the room that you're in, it has it's mostly concrete, but they have several objects like crates and crash test dummies and that kind of stuff to see. And then they have the bio gel forms like Mythbusters. I can't remember what they're called, but they're essentially dummies that are made of like a flesh type material, so that they can see what your sound does to objects flesh, that kind of stuff. And then they also have different technological items in there to see if it does anything different to different styles and origins of tech. You actually recognize one of the guns from the Chitauri, which were the aliens that arrived on Earth in the invasion of New York in Avengers the movie 1. They have one of those sitting up as well to see if your sonic energy does anything strange to that. One of the scientists that's there is Jax. There are also 2 other scientists in the room, Joy and Turner, a man and woman from Wakanda, that have been kind of just taking notes and making sure you're comfortable.
You're from Wakanda, man.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Am I there of my own free will, or have I been coerced into doing it?
So, I'm going to say you're there of your own free will. One of the things about Xavier's Institute is that everything is voluntary. Everything. Even the kids that were a danger to themselves and kind of the other X-Men that needed to be trained in a more secure facility that went to Genosha, even they were given the option. And one of them, for example, did not want to at all, and his name was Broadband?
Yes.
I keep thinking it's not Broadband, but he was a 9-year-old that had the ability to shut down. He had the ability to view the network of information that is the internet, and he also has a slight form of telepathy, and had an episode where he started to have a fit, like epilepsy, and it blanketed and wiped out everybody that was at the everyone that was here. It actually probably wiped out you as well, Shriek. Like, it was wide ranging and knocked everyone unconscious. And so after that, he agreed he needed to be trained in a more secure area. So he's one of the ones that went back. So as an example of everybody needing to be voluntary, this whole thing, consent is the name of the game for the Xavier Institute. Which is why I was saying it's up to you on how much you were showing and how much you were holding back and that kind of stuff. Now, please, if you could do that, what did you call it again? Where you were projecting the sound?
Oh.
It's up to you. You have to use what's on the sheet.
Sonic form.
Yeah, can you try that again and see if it takes out this radio tower? And you can see him typing on a machine, and then a small device in front of you opens up, kind of like a tech, but also kind of beautiful like a flower. A lot of the tech that you've seen from Wakanda has been dual form. It's been very beautiful, but also very functional. And you can see that this radio tower opens up like a flower, and there's a glowing light on the inside that flickers back and forth.
How about if I teleport over to it and do a burst?
Okay. So you're going to shift into your form. So what does that look like?
Sound waves.
It looks like sound waves.
I'm sorry, he was talking.
So keep in mind that while this is the movie universe, we are still talking about superheroes, right? So most powers have a visual representation, unless they specifically are made to be subtle. Like if I had telepathy, right? Did you ever watch the X-Men cartoon from like the 90s?
No.
Or see any of that? Oh, yes, you're fine. You're fine. But if I have telepathy and I want to read your mind, right? Most movies would have me going, and I would read your mind, and other than me going like this, no one would know that I'm reading your mind. In comic books, Professor X goes, and there's like ripples around him, like blue ripples, and then there's blue ripples around your head because I'm messing with your head, and so it's obvious that I'm doing something, right?
Uh-huh.
Unless it's specifically made to be subtle. And I don't usually allow a lot of subtle powers because they can get overused and because it kind of takes away from the feeling. So when you turn to that form, you would become sound waves. So in this case, sound waves are like a big vibration in the air and a big hum because you're sound, obviously. So there's like a big kind of obviously non-human. It's not like you're going, "Hey guys." You are a giant ball or amorphous cloud of sound waves that's poof and poof, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay. So just as you're doing your powers and stuff, I'm gonna ask that all of you do stuff like that. Like tell me kind of what your powers look like when you're using them and that kind of stuff. But awesome. So you turn into your sound sonic waves
Mm-hmm.
and appear over this. Are you appearing in it or above it or like how large is your grouping of sound waves?
How big around? So,
I know that's not really a
It's kind
good
of like
question.
yeah, it's just kind of like a
Like a Star
bunch of
Trekky,
waves. So I'm
Star
like inside
Trekky.
of this thing. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Like silver light just kind of going like that. And it's kind of making a hum. And I'm right in front of that thing
okay,
that you talk about. And I just hit it with a burst.
okay. So as you control these sound waves and bring them in, and then release them, there's a loud shattering sound that bursts through. You can hear and kind of sense because you don't have eyes, right? Through you almost have like a daredevil echolocation that you can kind of see this tower before you crackle and sizzle and pop with its own sounds that are kind of becoming part of your form as they feed off of this tower. And the lights that are flickering stop, so the hum that you were getting from the electronics, that sound that you could see, is no longer there. You still see the reflections of your sound bouncing off of it and bouncing off the floor and everything around you, but the sound it was producing completely dead. You also note that everything in 30 feet all around you also kind of sizzled and popped. The scientists, Joy and Turner, are sitting on the ground laughing, like not at you, but because you knocked them on their butts. And Joy says to Turner, "See, I told you. Aren't you glad you got the hearing protection now?" And they're kind of messing with these tech earplugs that they had put in right before your thing, and they turn to Jax and give you a thumbs up. You also had a pair of the earplugs, luckily, because you had gotten knocked off your feet, but no one noted that you landed about 2 seconds after on your feet.
yeah.
You went like this.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. There is a just after that, while you're still kind of in this form, you guys hear and see a loud siren. It is a almost like a fire alarm alert, and there's a loud crashing sound that comes from up above you, a couple floors above. I will say, with your teleportation, I did not give you accurate, which is something I wanted to talk to you about. What accurate does is accurate means you can teleport to anywhere, pretty much within your
Range.
within your range, without having to see it first.
Oh.
So there's a lot of teleporters that have to see where they're going to go, otherwise they don't know what's going to happen there. And in my opinion, teleporters, unless they are very experienced, shouldn't have accurate yet. Now, if you and I want to come offline and talk about that, and maybe get you accurate, and also give you the other things we were talking about, like a little bit of flights and sound waves fly, we can talk about that. But as of right now, you have to have seen a place in order to teleport there.
Okay.
But there is a loud crash, and kind of the building shakes around you. Not like it's collapsing. You guys are in subfloor 2. So subfloor 2, subfloor 1, first floor, second floor. First floor is ground level. And you feel that, and then nothing else. But the alarms are still blazing. You see the scientists are scared, and they are moving back, trying to turn off some of the electronics that they have on because they don't want to lose any of their data, and they don't want anything bad to happen there. What are you guys doing?
I'd go back to my normal form.
Okay. You drop back into a crouch. So we didn't talk about this. I assume you in clothing turns into the sound waves, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Unlike Mystique, who is always naked. That's why I'm saying that.
Oh no,
Miss-
I
Mi-
brought my
Mystique-
clothes with me.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I can inquire from one of the doctors or the scientists if I did okay with
Yep.
the test. Or
But we got all of your results. Please be safe. We are going to shut down this room. And you know that all of these test rooms have emergency shutdowns where everybody evacuates the room and they shut it off, and it fills with like a thick air to help cushion the damage from around it. To help prevent a lot of structural damage, it'll help absorb some of that structural damage. So they're kind of pointing you towards the door.
okay.
As you guys make your way out into the hallway, you see that they've stayed behind because they're still wrapping up. You see other people coming into the hallway. Some of them more worse for wear. Your tests, it looks like, were pretty easy on you. Some of them look like they are still smoking a little bit, or like they're super tired. None of them look like they've been damaged, but if you're a person who can project fire and you accidentally set yourself on fire, that would be like what you're looking at. And you make your way out in the hallway. You know that there's no light here. There is a strobing red light that is spinning, like you see in those emergency movies where there's a strobing red emergency light. So you're seeing everything in this kind of strobing red effect. I'm going to assume you two have talked to each other before, since you were kind of helping with testing and stuff, and that you've probably known each other. How long would you say you've been at the Xavier estate? A maximum of 5 years, a minimum of, say, a month.
She's been here for 3 months, 1 season.
Okay.
We've known each other for a couple of years.
Oh. Okay. So, how long would you say you've had your powers? Like, how long do you think that it's been since those started?
They started when I was probably about 17, 18.
Okay, so alright, so let's rewind a little bit, sorry. If you're 25, then they would have had to have started sometime in the last 5 years. Because mutants didn't really start until about 5 years ago when the snap happened.
Okay, so when I was 20 then.
Okay, so like, the snap happened, you almost immediately woke up with powers, and kind of kept them hidden and stuff until...
Bless you.
Thank you. Dang it. And maybe had Jax there to help support you, as your powers were kind of getting scary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Trying to figure them out.
Cool. Awesome. So you're probably one of the reasons he comes here as well, not just to perform genetic testing on unsuspecting children.
That's why I go there.
Alright. So you guys make your way out into the hallway. You know that in this situation, the elevators aren't active, so you guys are going to have to climb the stairs. But They are fairly large, safe stairs that are on a earthquake-proof system. So you join the throng of people that are coming up from the floors below you, and also from the rooms that are here on this floor. It's a fairly large facility, so maybe 50, 60 people, though most of them are scientists and doctors, lab technicians, that kind of stuff. People that
And
work.
all 50 or 60 people are trying to get out of
Yes. For the most part, they're pretty orderly, but there are some mutants here that do not fit the normal humanoid shape, and so they're kind of people are trying to move past them quickly while not getting stepped on by them. Where are you? There you are. Okay. What are your actions?
I'm going up the stairs
Yeah, we're going to
with everybody
continue.
else.
Yeah.
As you get to the ground floor, you note that the majority of people are rushing out towards the exit, but there are a few that are heading back towards one of the rooms. A few being only one or two people. Back towards one of the rooms, and you can hear a lot of sound coming from one of them. Shrieks, screams, like a nightmarish wail. Give me 1 second.
Oh. I think we should find this to go into the room.
Okay.
Okay. She was at PTA. So, okay. So, as you yourself, shriek, make some pretty strange sounds, when in full power mode. You actually know for a fact these sounds are not coming from a human vocal cord. Like, these are not sounds coming from vocal cords. They aren't the right resonance. They're not coming through speakers. They are coming from something else. You also, both of you also note that people coming from this level are soaked in fear. Like, they reek of it more than a normal person should be who is escaping. People that are afraid and just want to get outside because they're afraid the building's going to collapse, sure, they're afraid. But these people are
Terrified.
Terrified. Yeah.
They're panicking.
They're panicking. That is what they are doing. So on your way up from the ground, on the stairs, people were still pretty orderly. There were some bumps and bruises, but nobody got trampled. Here, you're seeing people get trampled because they're trying to get outside. The panic here is palpable.
Well, I'm too nosy for my own good. I'm going to follow those two back into that room and see what's going on.
Okay. What about you, Shriek?
I'm going with him.
Okay. So I'm going to say because you've been here for 3 months, and your powers are higher.
Oh, hey, Dean?
What?
Do I know the two people who I saw running back there?
Give me a perception check. So Jen, I'm gonna say that because you've been here for 3 months and your power level is higher than most of the other students and that kind of stuff, even higher than some of the teachers. They made you a team member. So because you also want to do what's right and you feel that responsibility to use your powers wisely, you actually have an X-Men suit that you wear as well. You don't have to be wearing it right now, but they gave it to you, and it's like a health. Do you have a macro? It should be slash roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you don't have to be wearing it right now, Jen, but essentially it is an armored jumpsuit that can help protect you from damage and also makes it visible that you are with this sanctuary when you are doing your heroics. So that it's almost like a uniform,
Uh-huh.
like that police wear or that firefighters wear. No, I'm not letting you out, dummy. You just came in.
Perception not very good. 12.
You aren't sure you recognize them, but you did note that they were wearing the same kind of team jumpsuit that a lot of the mutants here wear, which means that they're probably part of a first responder team.
Okay.
As you guys fight against the river of people streaming past you, the sounds, the sounds of horror are over the people. Give me a will save. So what that's going to be is you're going to look on your sheet, and you're going to have different defenses. You're going to have a fortitude save, which is usually against like poison or your body fighting off something, right? You're going to have will, which is your mind fighting off stuff. You're going to have dodge, which is dodging things being thrown at you or being shot at you, and parry, which is knocking aside melee attacks.
Yes, I see all.
As we built your guys' characters pretty fast, your saves are not very high. That's something we need to discuss. But you have character sheets, so that's fine for now.
Sure that was your-
I got an 11.
Okay,
I got
and
12.
you had 12. Okay, you feel the hair on the back of your neck start standing up. You've had nightmares, Shriek, about because so much of your life is wrapped around sound. It ends up being what most of your nightmares and dreams are based around. Dreams would be beautiful sounds that you've heard that every time you hear them, it gives you that emotion, you know, like your favorite song that makes you smile, and that sound, that perfect quiet of a sunset as it breaks over the ocean. Like, sounds like that are what you dream about. Sounds like this are your nightmares. They are these horrific things from Elder Plains and Cthulhu-like sounds that just drive you mad. You can feel that kind of reverberating through you to your core. Jax, have never heard sounds like this before. Sounds like this should not be made or heard by human ears. Given the option, you would make it possible for these sounds never to be heard again. But you're both able to fight past that fear and push on. It kind of immobilizes you for a second, and yeah, go ahead.
So I figured these are the sounds that I would hear if I was underwater.
Yes. You're actually hearing gurgling screams, and yes, exactly. Very bad. And you read your character sheet.
Yeah, I did. It told you about water.
Oh, okay.
And
No wonder
but you're able to push against it and still make your way past into this room. As you guys move around the corner, you see 5 people. You two, the 2 that went before you, who you don't recognize, 2 scientists. They're wearing lab coats and fatigues, but not like military fatigues, just like some kind of uniform that you kind of recognize, probably as a UNWO. So they're probably UNWO scientists, which is not uncommon. But they are laying on the ground completely still, and you see a 14, 15-year-old boy with kind of blonde, dark, dirty blonde curls, but he's curled on the floor in the fetal position, screaming. You can tell he's screaming because of the his breath has ragged with how much he is screaming, but the sound isn't there. He's making the motions. His body is racked with this utter fear and screams, but he's not making any noise. However, floating about 3 feet above him is a black miasma, smoky cloud where tentacles will show up out of the cloud, and then a skull will show up out of the cloud. A swarm of insects crawling over things will come out of the cloud, and it moves through the cloud and then disappears back into the cloud. As you look at it, Jax, you see tentacles, and you see what looks like a small child made of the same black cloud, and then the tentacles wrap around and pull it underneath the waves of this cloud. You still hear the sounds of you still hear the sounds of like these otherworldly horrors, but you also see these kind of nightmarish visages appearing in the smoke. You also smell brimstone, kind of like a sulfury smell, and yeah, and so that's what you see. The 2 people that went ahead of you, they're also in the same first responder uniform, first responder X-Men uniform. You see that one of them is kind of furry. It's a she, and she has sharp canines and bottom canines. I don't know what you call them. And she has almost fur covering her entire body and wicked-looking claws. The other one looks to be a wow, my brain just dumped.
Oh, I had to question whether or not my feed stopped for a second. You just froze.
It's been a long set of days. He goes, and you see that his hands, from fingertips to elbow, light up with fire, but the fire doesn't burn his suit, and it's like a orangish yellow white fire that is licking up. As he looks down at the kid, and the fire, he does it again, the fire goes away, and he runs to the 2 people on the floor that aren't moving, because the boy is still moving. He wants to make sure that they're okay. The is it Wolfsbane, Mark?
Yes.
Wolfsbane, who you now recognize because you're now close enough, she runs up to the boy and is trying to console him, but you note that as soon as she gets within about 5 feet of that black cloud, you can't hear her either. You only hear these sounds, which are starting to erode the edges of your sanity.
Ooh.
What equipment's in this room?
You
Is this a
see,
testing room?
it is a testing room. It looks like they have they have several holograms. Yeah, this room was set up to be able to project holograms. And they also have several of the flesh bodies, which are those fake gel bodies that mimic what flesh does. Those are all missing their heads. Like, there's no pieces of them left. The tech that's in the room, which was similar to the tech that was in your room, Shriek, would lead you to believe that this was another sonic test. They have a lot of the same kind of tools in here that they had before.
Okay, one thing that they would have, at least if they listen to the orders that I issued regarding the sonic ones, is they would have some kind of device or a procedure for taking care of an out-of-control process like this. I'm going to see if they have the equipment set up for that.
Give me a D20 roll.
Six. I want my lucky dice.
That's me. Naomi said this is the mug I get to use for my tea for our stream. No, They don't have that set up in here. They had it set up just in case Shriek had an episode, but they do not have that set up in here at all. It is a almost like a fire extinguisher system with growing, expanding foam that is also sound absorbing. Shriek, you've had it used on you once and absolutely hate it. For one, it was hard to get out and off, but for two, it made you feel powerless. But they do not have it set up here at all.
I'm going to see if I can get it set up quickly.
Okay.
And by set up, I mean if I have to throw it out there and shoot a pistol to get the stuff to come out. Quick.
Oh! Mark says to check your chat.
Check my...
Check your chat in Roll20.
Okay.
I'll have you make a couple rolls here in a second. Where you would roll the dice. That's what we're talking about.
Actually, I shouldn't take any penalties on that. If I'm coming back from a noise test, I still got my earplugs in, don't I?
You do. So earlier when I said that you heard and were fearful, you heard but were not fearful. You still were Shriek, but the noise headphones were blocking the frequencies that would have done that.
And for her, she just doesn't care about sound. It doesn't bother.
Well, it was still affecting her because she is sound. That's why it was affecting her so much. Because she that is literally kind of her bread and butter. You guys still made it through. That's fine. Okay, so go ahead and we're gonna need to figure out your tech rolls too.
I got my tech roll.
Yeah, we need to increase it and give you some other things. I had
Okay.
thought you were going with biogenetics and not necessarily tech.
I got a pretty good tech roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be higher, I suppose.
Well, for the way you roll, that's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Well, if you wanted to add it to the D20, then it'd be a 21.
You rolled a 1?
No, I rolled a 6
Oh.
on the D20. 6 plus
okay.
15. 21.
Oh, it's right there. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize you gave you a plus 15. That's good. Okay, never mind. That's actually really, really good. Yeah, you are. So what are you doing, Shriek? As Ansonia, as he is doing that. It's gonna take him a little bit to put it all together.
I try and comfort the child myself.
Okay. As you move to step within that 5-foot circle, something strange happens. Unlike when you have been put into scenarios where sound didn't work the right way, you've never been put in a situation like this. It is a zone of both noise suppression and noise concentration. So as you step within it, you know instinctively that they can't hear anything outside of this zone. Doesn't matter what you did. You may not even be able to blast Sonic out of this sphere, of this circle. You're not sure, but your voice comes out like an echo, and a little bit louder than you mean for it to. It's almost like this is its own combined room, centered room, and it's centered directly over this child about 5 feet out. You hear, as soon as you step within it, you don't hear the sounds anymore, the horrible sounds. You hear screams as this kid is it almost seems like he is has a night terror right now. It's almost like he's asleep and just screaming and screaming. Wolfsbane is trying to comfort him, and you note that she has moved underneath his head, so his head is in her lap, and she's trying to softly try to like wake him up and calm him down. As you step closer, she looks up at you, and you can see that she has worry in her eyes because she's never seen something like this before. You also know, because you know, you've met Wolfsbane before, she's only like 17, so she's not many years older than this kid in front of you.
Okay. So I'm unable to
So
do any-
so how would you move to comfort him? Right, this is I'm describing the scenario, and then
Mhm.
yeah.
I would try and dispel that cloud that's above him. Because she's already got him. So
Okay.
I was going to try and dispel the cloud.
So how are you thinking about dispelling the cloud?
Um,
So you have your alternate form, and within your alternate form you have a blast, right? A 30-foot blast. Pop. You also have in your normal form, kind of like a black canary shriek, where it's your normal form. You can produce sound that at the moment confuses people and can deafen them and kind of confuse them.
that's
It doesn't.
the deafen.
Yeah, and so it doesn't really do damage right now. It pretty much just kind of, you focus on one person and it does that. But fluff wise, it's still, you know what I mean by fluff wise? Just to make sure we're good. So story wise.
Okay.
For me, fluff wise just means story. We're adding to the story, right? So fluff wise, one way you can describe that is it's still a blast of sound. Sure, it doesn't damage people, but maybe you're not trying to damage people. Maybe you're just trying to distract them or dazzle them, dissuade them, you know? So it's still a blast of sound. So something like that might still work. You don't necessarily have to change into your alternate form to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Okay? So you breathe in, take a big focus. Now, do you want those sound waves to come from you? Do you want them to come from your hands? Do you want them to come from...
My hands, because I'm trying to dispel this thing. So
Okay.
it's not one big danger.
You Kamehameha, and there's a rippling wave that's coming from your outstretched hands. You can see that the smoke is shifting as these waves are hitting it, and it's displacing it and displacing it and displacing it. You're kind of pushing it further from the boy, and you note that the cylinder that is centered on the smoke, not the boy. And as you are blasting it at an angle away, it's actually pushing it up and further back, and you can feel the edge of that circle behind you. Jax, you're able to construct, because it was just a box, it was a crate that they hadn't even opened yet. You're able to get the Ghostbuster-like backpack that has the nozzle on it. Give me a perception check, Jen.
Oh.
I'm going to see if you see what he's doing before he does it. Because you don't want that stuff on you again.
Perception. There. +7. Sorry. / roll D20. +7. 18.
Oh yeah. You see that he has put this backpack on, and he has the nozzle, and he has it pointed at both the boy and the cloud, but you are between them both. So if he shoots it right now, it's going to hit you.
Okay.
You have moved the cloud further away, and so it looks like you moved it further away from the bodies that were laying on the floor as well. So it looks like they're starting to move a little bit, the bodies that were laying on the floor. So they're at least not dead. And you were able to get it further away from the boy, who you're seeing is starting to rouse from his nightmare. But you're going to get sprayed if you don't move.
Okay, I'm going to. I've got dodge. I was going
Okay.
to dodge away from it.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's going to be slash roll 1d20 plus, and then your dodge.
Plus.
7. 22.
Okay. Go ahead, Jax.
All right, let her rip.
So describe what you're doing.
I'm pointing the foam gun at the cloud first,
All right.
and I'm going to spray that cloud down good.
As the cloud reacts, it like touches the smoke. You can see it expanding on contact, which it usually doesn't do until it's touched something physical. So it's really strange the effect it's having on this cloud. The cloud, after being absorbed by the sound, hits the ground with a heavy thunk as the foam still begins to expand. You were able to kind of do a backflip somersault out of the way of the foam, Shriek, while still making sure that the foam wasn't necessarily aimed at both Wolfsbane and the child, the Banshee that's laying on the floor. You recognize the kid now that he's starting to wake up and isn't just in the middle of screaming, his face distorted in fear. You recognize him as a young Scottish? Waiting for Mark's nod. Okay, boy that has actually just arrived here probably a week and a half ago.
No, Irish.
Irish, thank you. And he's starting to come around. He's not entirely sure what happened at all.
Neither are we.
He said, I was having this strange dream. There was something that I can't do an Irish accent. I'm not even going to try. But his words are thickly coded in an Irish accent. Don't do that, Mark. I barely have an American accent right now. He says that he was having a dream that something had dropped from the sky, something that isn't meant to be here. And I'm going to
No
cut
more
back.
Kool-Aid before you go to bed.
No more Kool-Aid.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I don't know what happened.
Wow. Irish Catholic?
Yeah, that's my touch. That's my touch phrase to get into Irish. Is forgive
Nice.
me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yeah, I would end up. Is Scotty is Scottish, right? That's where I would end up. Yeah, that's where I would end up. And my voice is already slurred right now. I can already tell. Anyway. Okay, so that situation has pretty much died down. You, at looking outside, you notice that the few people that were left in the building that had not yet made it outside, they are not as panicked as they were. So obviously, that whatever that black cloud was having a serious effect. You also note that because this is a large room, the smell of brimstone and sulfur has also died down. It's a lot more clear. The fans have kicked on, as it were. But Wolfsbane looks at both of you and says, that kind of dream doesn't hit just randomly. He's never had that happen before in the last 2 weeks. I wonder what this could mean. And that's where we're going to cut back to Mark. Searching for this pink something that dropped from the sky. Give me a perception check, Mark.
Aye, Captain. Let's see. There. Perception.
You see.
I didn't do it yet.
Oh. I thought the 22 was yours. I was going to give you Rob's 22.
Why do a 22 when I can have a 24?
Fair. You see a small, pink, bright reflection just below the ocean's depths as Surge is still collecting errant cotton candy.
Splash yoink.
It is a small gem that is magenta, about the size of a human fist. It is cut. It's a cut gem about the size of a human fist.
It's. Hi.
They say hi.
Aw.
She's in a really good mood. That's nice. Usually PTA does not put her in a good mood.
Is this something that I would have known was in the possession of one Doctor Strange at one point?
Well, this Doctor Strange didn't have it.
Okay. You know.
And you don't really know Doctor Strange.
No, I know.
Because you showed up late.
It was a leading question. Actually, I'm trying to actually think whether or not I would have run across this.
Yeah, I have no idea. I looked up the history, and I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Because
I
I
don't
know
think
what
so
it
either.
is. I know what it is, but I don't. Yeah.
So as you go to grab it, you feel untold possibility rushing through you. Hopes and dreams of 1,000 systems lying at your fingertips. But you don't understand why you feel that way.
Well, what can my cosmic senses tell me about this?
I can't remember how we wrote those up.
My cosmic power senses?
Yeah.
They're...
You might have to find somebody to ask.
Okay.
I don't think your cosmic senses would give you the name of something that you don't recognize necessarily. You're pouring your cosmic senses into this might be a bad idea.
I know, that's why I was doing it.
And Mark has to reroll his character.
So what I will do is, can I use my skin to keep things protected? I mean, I think I'm almost positive I can. He's done it before, but I'm not sure.
You mean like giving them some of your skin?
No, like putting it under my skin. So it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
I know what you're saying, and I don't think you can do it. Okay. So we're gonna say good night to Rob and Jen. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks when we play this again.
Yeah.
Loved having you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say you probably don't have that capability.
Okay.
And when you're sensing out to see kind of what this material is, because that's something you can do, because you would normally be able to do that if you're going to change it into something else, you realize you would not be able to change this into something else. Normal gemstone, sure. But something about this, it contains something within it that is outside the observable reality of what you're looking at.
Right. Okay. So then, in that case, alright, so in that case, I'm going to do the responsible thing. I'm going to fly it to Surge.
Okay.
And I'll say Surge catch and toss it.
Let me roll for him. Up, he failed. It's back in the ocean. Oh no, it got stuck in the cotton candy because of your jerk. Okay, so you're saying you toss the Surge.
Yeah, I toss it to Surge. And then I fly immediately back down the hole as fast as humanly possible. And I'm going to do a... So I have a move by, but I don't really have any way to... I'm not good with a punch.
What hole were you flying down into?
The hole I flew out of. 'Cause
Okay.
I flew up the cosmic blast hole to
Yep.
get the gem, and we turned everything into.
There's now a giant crater there. It's not really a hole
okay.
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the point is, I was gonna go full
Excuse me.
speed and like move through that guy, but I don't know how that would
What?
work.
What? Okay, sorry. Let me rewind. When it blasted into cosmic energy, everything that was there within probably 100 yards circle,
Right.
a column, is dead and gone. It vaporized everything except you.
Oh, so the other cosmic guy is dead, and I can confirm that.
Aaron, the
Yes.
zombie who had
Correct.
Well, you can't confirm it because he was vaporized. But there's no.
Well, energy you can't destroy, right? And I turned the beam of energy into cotton candy, but I should be able to at least sense.
Justin ate most of the cotton candy, so he probably ate the cotton candy that was the atomized version.
He's eating zombie cotton candy.
He is. Oh, hold on. He's not here. Justin, if you don't want to eat zombie cotton candy, tell me right now. Oh,
Okay,
he's
good.
eating zombie
He
cotton
ate
candy.
zombie cotton candy. He's gonna turn into a zombie. He's gonna be responsible for the zombie outbreak because it's gonna spread at flash speed. That's fantastic. I approve.
Actually, to be fair, he's a zombie Flash. I apologize. A zombie speedster because of Nick. Because Aaron brought that guy back to life. Or because Aeon brought Aaron back to life. If he hadn't done that, none of this would have happened.
Right, exactly. So yes, that is correct. That is correct. Okay. So in that case, then I guess the most responsible thing to do at this point is double check that I can't detect that guy anymore.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Do you want my cosmic tracking senses?
Yes.
Okay.
They're good sports. They get up earlier than I do.
21.
You sense something of him, or of the things that had been Legion, but you do not sense Aaron.
Okay, but so then I'm tracking the thing that was Legion because we need to make sure that.
Oh wait, no, you don't. I'm sorry, you don't track. Aaron is gone. You do not, because it's outside the bubble, and you're inside the bubble, and it was causing a cutoff.
Okay. All right. Well, if I don't sense anything more of it, I will fly up and make sure that this whole fiasco didn't affect the people of the island somehow, other than possible diabetes from zombie cotton candy. And I will, if there is any stray cotton candy, I'll gather it for the forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And you've noted that the fog that's rolling in is liquefying most of the cotton candy anyway.
Okay. Good.
Well, it's creating a very sticky forest anyway.
Please tell me that when I get back to Surge in the forest...
Surge is not there.
He's not.
Nope.
Where is Surge?
Very good question. And questions will be answered on the next episode of MCU Tuesday.
Yay! Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, if you'd like to support us, you can do so by clicking that subscribe button here on Twitch or on YouTube. If you do it on YouTube, make sure you click the bell so you get notified when we upload new videos. Also, you can head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/gamersledge, where you can get your name on every show that we do for as little as $1, just like these fine folks have. For Daniel and myself, thanks for watching. Until next time, game on.
See you guys in 2 weeks. Game on.